Hey, what's up? It's me, Elay, pronounced like LA, like the city, and we are on chapter 24, Uncle Franco's. Let's see here. Get the background in. Meow. Trying to set up the camera. Yay! Chapter 24. After school on Monday, Gilda and I head to the diner to grab a quick snack and to have a word with Uncle Frankie. On the way, we passed Crazy Bob, the guy with the cardboard sign about the upcoming alien invasion. It's already starting in crazy. The Galexatrons are on their way, he tells us. They'll be here by next weekend. Be sure you pack your toothbrush and a clean pair of underwear, Jamie. Will do, I tell him. Thanks for the heads up. Gilda and I each toss a quarter into his cup and hurry along to the diner. Uncle Frankie greets us at the door. He's wearing that bow tie again. Hiya, Uncle Frankie, I say. Please, James, call me Frankos. It's much more distinguished sounding, don't you think? Here we go. Hey, I have an idea. I tell Uncle Frankie, how about you show us a new yo-yo trick? You can try it out on Gilda and me. Then, if it's any good, you can show it to Miss Denny when she gets here. Here's the picture. They're coming into the restaurant and Uncle Frankie's all fancy and stuff. So it says, welcome to Enjoyable Edibles by the Bounding Main. Welcome to Enjoyable Edibles by the Bounding Main. You changed the name again? The menu too. Might I interest you in the Keiko Frappe? That sounds so fancy. He means a chocolate milkshake. Oh my gosh, really? So he's welcoming them to the new restaurant, and once again he changed the name again. This is his second or third time changing the name. He's saying something fancy that's really more or less on the lines of saying something like chocolate milk. And that's what she's explaining to him. He's like, what are you asking me? I want to order. It sounds all fancy. So she's interpreting, saying he basically means chocolate milk. Too fancy for me. That's a great idea, says Gilda. Uncle Frankie curls his nose up like someone just ordered a double portion of liver and onions. A yo-yo trick for Flora? Tut-tut. I'm surprised that you two suggest such an uncouth. That you two would suggest such an uncouth, uncultured, and unsophisticated activity. Ugh. Yo-yoing is beneath the dignity of an intellectual such as Flora. Yawn. Put him in the fire. He's so boring. No, it's not, I tell him. Remember the other day when she didn't even recognize this place and left? Uncle Frankie, Francois, pats me on the head. When you're older, James, you'll understand. Now, if you will excuse me, I must go whoop up some tuna tartare. Ugh. What's that, I asked. Raw fish, says Gilda. Bait? Hardly, says Uncle Frankie. It is a gourmet delicacy. Says so in the Gourmet Delicacy magazine. I checked it from the public library. He heads into the kitchen to not cook fish. I slip behind the counter and take up my usual spot behind the cash register. Oh yeah, I forgot he works there. Gilda grabs a stool. I look around the dining room. Most of the booths and tables are empty. I see more candles and folded napkins than people. All the changes at the diner haven't been great for romance or business. Our most loyal regular, the big burly bear, Mr. Berzeski, watches Uncle Frankie disappear into the kitchen, then rushes over to the counter. Quick, he says, in his thick Russian accent, tell me a joke, Jamie. Do not recite more poetry. But Uncle Frankie said, please, I'm begging you, no more poetry, a joke. Okay. I look around to make certain Uncle Frankie can't hear me. Mr. Brzezinski's favorite comic is Russian. A guy named Yasko Smirnov, who was huge back in the 1970s and 80s. But I know only about 6 of his jokes, and I've told them all to Mr. Brzezinski before. So I just make up something. What do you call a Russian who ate too many baked beans? Mr. Brzezinski shrugs. I don't know. What do you call him? Vladimir Putin. Mr. B slaps his knee. Oh, Jeremy, you funny. Thanks, I say. No, I mean this. You funny. Do not forget this. It is who you are. And your poetry, it is not so good as your funny. And just like that, I knew what I had to do. I had to give Uncle Frankie the same pep talk he was always giving me back when I was competing in the Planet's Funniest Kid Comic Contest. Planet's Funniest Kid Comic Contest. Whenever I was trying to work joke book jokes into my act, he sit me down. Okay, I was already seated, but you get the point. Yeah, because he's in a wheelchair, remember? And says, you're always better when you make up your own material, Jamie. Just be who you are. Give us your slant on life. Slant on life. Have you heard about the new restaurant on the moon? They say the food is great, but there's no atmosphere. Jamie, I don't want to hear anyone else's jokes. I want you to be you. So here's his uncle back in the day coaching Jamie about how to be original when he's telling jokes, to use his pains in life and turn them into a joke. So he talks about him being in the wheelchair a lot and how life is being in the wheelchair. He jokes about it, and that's how he got famous. He's famous in this book for being funny. Now it's my turn to school him. Mr. Denny wants Uncle Frankie to be Uncle Frankie, not Chef Francois. Wish me luck, I say to Gilda, and then they roll into the kitchen to have the talk. Phew, so good. He's going to talk to his uncle about why he changed so much and how now he's losing customers because he's not being himself. He's trying to impress that library lady, and she liked him just the way he was. Hopefully the pep talk will work. Chapter 25, Talking the Talk Without Walking the Walk. Cute. Talking the talk without walking the walk. Uncle Frankie, can we talk? He gets a worried look in his eyes. Sure, kiddo. What's up? Well, I'm probably not the best one to be giving you romantic advice. True, says Gilda, who is hanging out in the doorway, pretending like she's not totally eavesdropping on us. Come on in, I tell Gilda with a sigh. I might need your help. For what? Asks Uncle Frankie. Telling you the truth. Gilda comes into the kitchen, grab a pickle tub, I tell her. She sits down on a 5-gallon plastic bucket. Uncle Frankie sits down on the one next to hers. So, what's this all about? Asks Uncle Frankie. Do we need fresh candles in the dining room? More Mozart symphonies in the jukebox? No, I say. We need doo-wop music and burgers. And fries with gravy, yeah. And napkins that don't look like frozen birds, adds Gilda. Oh, I get it. You kids aren't crazy about the improvements. Well, our more sophisticated clientele, such as the librarians of the neighborhood, enjoy the finer things in life, including properly folded napkins and flickering candelabras. I shake my head. No, they don't. They like yo-yos and you, huh? Miss Denny, says Gilda, she likes you for you, sir. The old you. The one in the white apron with the grease stains and ketchup splatters. It's like you always tell me, Uncle Frankie. I say, it's always best to be yourself instead of some version of who you think other people want you to be. Uncle Frankie smiles a little. Flora wants me to be a yo-yo? No. I nod, yes. She likes you for you, says Gilda. As a guy you probably have a hard time realizing that. Most guys never know when a girl is truly interested in them. Gilda gives me a funny eyebrow raised look. I don't know why. She told you kids this? Asked Uncle Frankie, fiddling with his black bow tie. Yep, I say. I see he's always looking like he's doing some serious thinking. I see, he says, looking like he's doing some serious thinking. After a moment, he jumps up and shouts, Thank goodness! Gilda and I can only stare as he yanks off his tie, then peels open his formal monkey suit like Superman. So here's the picture when he's inviting Gilda to come in and join them in the conversation. He's about to talk to Uncle Frankie and tell him to go back to being normal. Gilda and I help Uncle Frankie blow out all the candles in the restaurant and turn up all the lights. Bye-bye, Mr. Mozart. Uncle Frankie bops the side of the jukebox. Bam! A doo-wop group starts singing, Why Do Fools Fall in Love? One line strikes me extremely strange. Why does the rain fall from up above? Because it would be weird if the rain came up from out the dirt. Right. It's raining up. Okay. I want to tell the singer, but he's too busy rhyming about love. And that's when Miss Denny comes through the door. She's beaming. Uncle Frankie is beaming and twirling his yo-yo. Fools are falling in love all over the place. Yes. Isn't this wonderful, says Gilda, batting her eyes at me. Oh. Yeah, I tell her. Now we can order a cheeseburger deluxe with cheesy fries again. Yes, sounds yummy. The way Gilda rolls her eyes at me tells me one thing. That wasn't the answer she was going for. Here's the picture when Uncle Frankie is told by the two kids that the librarian he likes wants him to return back to normal like he used to be. And look how happy he is to tear off all those fancy clothes. And after he tore his fancy clothes off, he put his regular uniform and clothes on and turned to some more up-to-beat music. So apparently he didn't even like not being himself. Chapter 26. Happy Days Are Here Again. That's a song. Happy Days Are Here Again. Happy days are here once more. Da, 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 da. Okay, Uncle Frankie is back to flipping burgers with one hand while twirling yo-yo tricks with the other. I call this little combo the breakaway pinwheel. Lindy Loop with a time warp twist, he says. Dog. Showing off his flashy moves to Miss Denning. Miss Denning is thrilled. Now this is the Francis I. Whatever she was about to say, she changes it in mid-sentence. Remember. Miss Denny becomes even happier when Pierce and Gaynor show up with the poster they've been putting together for the stand-up for the book's benefit this coming Friday night. You really got Jackie Hart and Gilda and Jim Gaffin? She sounds amazed. Yup, says Gilda. Gafkin loves food. Told me a diner is his idea of what heaven will be like. Aww. Especially if there's pie. Oh, there will be, says Uncle Frankie. Apple, cherry, and banana cream. Those dudes from the Funny Kid competition are coming too, says Gaynor, tapping their names on the poster. Anthony Guerrero, the Klein sisters, and Ben Barco all said yes, adds Pierce. And of course, says Gilda, Jamie is the headliner. Yay! The big draw, the hometown hero, the one everybody is coming to see, live and in person. See, now Uncle Frankie is back to normal. He's cooking and yo-yoing at the same time, all while impressing his potential girlfriends. Yay! It didn't take him long to convert back. Let's see here. Gulp. I wish he hadn't put it that way. Did I mention that I have a bad habit of panicking right before my biggest shows? You could write a book about it, maybe even 5. As everybody else has a great As everybody else has a great dinner of meatloaf, peas, and mashed potatoes, I can feel the flop sweat dribbling down my back like rain gushing out of a leaf clogged gutter. That night, things go from bad to worse to horrible. Oh no, things were just good. The alien land. Yep, Crazy Bob was right. The Galaxitrons are already arrived early. Around midnight, they blast the boardwalk, demolish the diner, and totally scorch the school. On the plus side, since we don't have a school or a library anymore, I don't have to worry about prepping a lesson plan for that class on how to be a comedian. Too bad I wake up and realize that the world hasn't come to an end. It was just another one of my wacky nightmares. I guess it comes from falling asleep worrying about all this scary stuff, the benefit, the comedy class, and the fact that Stevie Cosgrove sleeps 2 doors down. So he was having a nightmare about aliens coming in and attacking their town and destroying the school. But on the plus side, he was happy that aliens destroyed the school because then he wouldn't have to teach the comedy class. But he woke up and it was a nightmare. So here's his dream. They're tearing up the place. That was a horrible dream. Spared the boy in the wheelchair and the girl with the frizzy hair. They each gave me a quarter, not knowing that quarters were the fuel we needed to power laser cannons. Wow. Wow, it's just like the retro arcade game, Space Invaders. You need quarters to power that laser cannon too. So the alien is driving the spaceship, and that's the homeless guy who holds the sign that aliens are coming in the first place. He's telling the alien to spare the 2 kids, Jamie and Gilda, because they give him quarters every time they walk by. See, it pays to be kind. The next morning, I roll into the library and talk to Miss Denning. I think I have to focus on the benefit show this week, I tell her. When that's done, I'll put together my plans for the comedy class. I gesture towards the calendar where the last day of the month is circled in red. We'll still have 2 whole weeks to pack the library with kids for the big day at the end of this month, so they're already down to 2 weeks almost. We're in the 3rd week now, and they're about to have the little show at the diner. And after that, they'll have 2 weeks left to save the library. That sounds like an excellent idea, she says. I bet we can sign up a ton of students for your class at the benefit concert. Plus, with you, Jackie Hart, and Jim Gaffigan, who knows, we might raise enough money to buy more books, more computers, more iPads, and a 3D printer for our new marker space. If we have those things, that'd be sure to draw more kids to the library too. No pressure though. Outside, I'm smiling and nodding. Inside, I'm sweating and dying. He's hoping he can actually pull it off. Chapter 27, Brainstorms with a Chance of Fog. So, sound like he's going to be doing some brainstorming, but he's going to be doubting it. I realized that what I need, besides a bus ticket out of town, is some brand new material for the benefit show. So after school, Gilda, Pierce, Gaynor, and I meet in the library to work up a fresh routine. Okay, says Gilda, it's a benefit for the school library. So just do a string of library jokes, dude, says Gaynor. Duh, that was easy. Well done, says Pierce. He and Gaynor knock knuckles. Then they look at me. Okay, I racked my brain trying to remember any library jokes I might have read or heard. Okay, here's one. A guy comes into the library with an overdue book. The librarian says, this book about amnesia was due 4 weeks ago. The guy says, really? I forgot. Gaynor chuckles. Pierce grimaces. Gilda shakes her head. And that's when Vincent O'Neill barges into the room. Hi, guys. Is this another brainstorming session? Yes, I tell him. I need new material for the stand-up for book show this Friday night. It's like 3 days away because it is 3 days away. What? Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone can hear the panic in my voice. Well, says Vincent, since it's a benefit for a library, you should do library and librarian jokes. That's what I said, exclaims Gaynor. Totally no-brainer, dude. However, says Pierce, it might be best if they were good jokes. No problemo, says Vincent. I've got 1,000,000 of them. Do you know where librarians sleep? Between the covers! Boo! When they eat dinner, they use book plates. If you go to the 7-story library and check out 7 books, how many are left? None. I told you they have only 7 stories. Okay, says Gilda when Vincent finishes his run of one-liners. Then she gets that look in her eye again. The one where you can actually see the brainstorm cloud swirling madly inside her brain. Oh, I've got it. This is fantastic. You don't write any material. What? Here's the boy barging in and blabbing off all his one-liner library jokes. They were pretty good, though. My favorite books, Parachuting by Hugo First, Why Cars Stop by M.T. Tank, and of course the classic Under the Bleachers by Sue Seymour Butts, Mosquito Bites by Ivan Itch. So he's blabbing off all the names of the books he likes. He just is going on and on and on. He won't quit. Wow, page 144. You do an improv, an off-the-cuff seat of your pants, no prep book talk. That is a good idea. What happened to my other book? It went to sleep. Huh? Gilda hops up and grabs a library cart loaded down with books that Miss Denning plans on reshelving. Close your eyes and pick one, she tells me, and then tell me about it. I give it a shot. What do I have to lose? The first book I pluck off the cart is The Maze Runner by James Dashner. Hey. Ah, yes, I say. One of my favorites. It's all about a mouse in a twisted psychological experiment who can't find the cheese in the maze. So he keeps running around. I do a rodent face in a squeaky mouse voice. Where's my cheese? Come to think of it. Where are my Cheetos? Where's the nearest Chuck E. Cheese? It's my birthday. Oh my gosh, he's on a roll. Everybody cracks up. Gilda tosses me another book. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Yes, another book. I say, reading the title, and then I wing another book talk. This is all about a very hairy guy who likes to make pottery. He has one of those wheels and all sorts of wet clay, but every time he goes to throw a bowl, his hair gets tangled in the spinning mud. I grab my throat like long locks have become a noose around my neck. It's dangerous being Harry Potter, so he's pretending that his hair got caught around in the pottery wheel. Harry Potter, that is. Hysterical, declares Hilda. Awesome, adds Gaynor. Very amusing, says Pierce. And says Vincent, if you run out of ideas, you can always use some of my librarian jokes. Thanks, I say. But I don't think I'm going to need any of Vincent's material. Thanks to Gilda. I feel funny again. Yay, she saved him. Chapter 28. Rolling on the floor laughing. Oh, that's a good hint that it's going to be good. Rolling on the floor laughing. Friday night, the diner is packed. It's standing room only for everybody except me and a few of my wheelchair buds. Uncle Frankie is in his tuxedo, but he's not saying tut-tut or calling himself Frankos anymore. Giving everybody the red carpet treatment as they enter, Miss Denny shows up wearing a sparkly gown. I think she made it with the glue gun and sequins in her new marker space in the library. The Smileys are there too. Fortunately, Stevie isn't with him. I spy the new principal, Coach Ball, lurking in the shadows near the jukebox. So he showed up, hey? The mean coach/principal decided to show. He's chugging some kind of goopy protein shake out of a plastic bottle and belching. Then Jackie Hart comes in with some of her castmates from Saturday Night Live. Jim Gaffigan is right behind her, and the crowd grows crazy. Welcome everybody, I say. Since I'm the immense or master of ceremonies, thank you all for being here tonight and helping us raise so much money for the Long Beach Middle School Library. The crowd's applause. Yay! We hope to have you all rolling on the floor with laughter, not just me and my pals in the wheelchairs. And don't forget to bid on all the cool stuff in the silent auction. Oh, they're having a silent auction? I didn't know that. Jackie Hart has donated an autographed copy of her book, Jackie Ha Ha. I signed a copy of the first Jamie Funny TV show script. And Mr. Gaffigan signed a sandwich he didn't finish for lunch today. How do you sign a sandwich? If you sign the sandwich, it's just going to tear up. Maybe he decided to play. Let me go on and read the story. Maybe they'll show a picture of a signed sandwich. Gaffigan leans down and takes my mic. Do you know how hard it is to sign your name on the mustard and ketchup, he jokes. See, I was just wondering that. We start the show with some hilarious routines from my pals. From the Planet's Funniest Kid comic contest. Also, the guy signed his sandwich using ketchup and mustard. I'm thinking he used like an ink pen or something. Oh, look at this spread of pictures. So look at, they've got a full house in the diner. It's like filled from rear to the front. There's Jamie hosting everything, and there's the lady with the mic. That's wonderful, and I think that's the guy who signed his name in his sandwich in ketchup and mustard. Look at it. It's wonderful. All his friends are there, his wheelchair buddies, students from school, and his uncle greeting people at the door. There's the librarian. She made a fancy schmancy dress. The news is there. It's Jackie, ha. I read her book. It was hysterical. You know the difference between a cupcake and a muffin? Nothing, a muffin is just a bald cupcake. A muffin is just a bald cupcake. Oh my gosh, really? He said a muffin is just a bald cupcake. I'm gonna have to start using that. Ben and Klein sisters are hysterical like always, but Anthony Guerrero, who was the Southwest Regionals winner from Albuquerque, New Mexico, does a killer set that slays everybody. Nobody really died. That's just what we say when the comedian is amazing. Yeah. I've always admired Anthony's comedy. He's fearless and never worries about being politically correct. Those are the best ones. After he finishes, Jackie Hart takes the stage with a few of her Saturday Night Live friends. Since we're in the diner doing a benefit for a literary cause, they do a funny sketch about Shakespeare's Hamlet. Perfect choice. A play about ham and Swiss omelet. Oh my gosh, Hamlet, you get it? So they're reenacting the Hamlet Shakespearean play by being ham and an omelet. Here's another picture. Do. You know, I would have been on stage sooner, but some nice folks outside kept asking me to take their leaves and mow their lawn. Yes, I'm Hispanic. That means my family lives in New Mexico. Back Yes, I'm Hispanic. That means my family lived in New Mexico. Back when it was just, Mexico. I understand that some people want to build a wall on the border between the United States and Mexico. I'm not sure it's going to work. Why? One word, tunnels. Oh. Here's the other one. To flip or to flop? To flip or not to flip? That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to scramble the egg and ham in cast iron pan, or to flip the whole thing, and with gravity mix the ingredients. Oh my gosh. That's there's their impression of Hamlet and converted into omelet. So she's like wondering if she should scramble the egg or just flip it over. It's pretty funny, especially when Jackie and her friends do modern dance moves pretending to be the sizzling, shivering ham. That reminds me of an episode on Doug Funny when Judy was in her acting school and she was like, they were acting like bacon or something. Doug is a Nickelodeon old school cartoon. It's pretty funny when Jackie and her friends do modern dance moves pretending to be the sizzling, shivering ham. Gilda wheels in a library cart loaded down with books. You're up after Gaffigan, she reminds me. Not that she has to. I'm sweating more than that fried ham in Jackie Haha's Hamlet. Especially when I notice who just slipped into the diner. Stevie Cosgrove and Lars Jonasson. They're here. They walked in just in perfect time to see him perform. Uh-oh. See you next video. See you next video. We'll start on chapter 29.